What you do in the morning does not just shape the day, it shapes the man. And I say to you now with conviction born of observation, trial, and fire, that the first hour of your morning is the rudder of your entire life. If you neglect it, you drift. But if you master it, you rise. Your morning is not a trivial portion of your day. It is sacred, it is strategy, it is the moment when you declare your intentions to the universe and, more importantly, to your own subconscious mind. Understand this, the mind especially, in the early hours, is soft clay. It will take the impression of whatever you press upon it. That is why you must be deliberate. That is why you must train it. That is why you must never, ever allow your morning to be hijacked by the noise of the world before you check the phone. Before you open the door, before the demands of life claw at your attention, you must first check in with your greatest asset, your inner world. That is where your power lies. That is where your future begins, and that is where transformation is born. The tragedy of most men is that they do not claim the morning. They surrender it. They hit snooze. They waste time. They delay. They hand the most critical minutes of their day to distraction and disorder. But you, if you choose to rise with purpose, must be different. You must be decisive. You must begin your day with a declaration, not a question. There is a simple, profound practice. I urge you to adopt a ritual so powerful that, if done daily, will recalibrate your mind, align your emotions, and set your life on a trajectory so clear, so focused, that success becomes not an accident, but a certainty. It requires no money, no special equipment, only you, your intention, and the discipline to follow through. The moment you wake up, do not delay. Sit upright, plant your feet firmly on the ground, and begin the day with a personal command. A statement that impresses upon your subconscious the identity you have chosen, not the man you used to be, not the man shaped by fear or failure, but the man you have decided to become. Say it aloud. I am in control of my thoughts. I direct my energy. I am building my life with discipline, power, and faith. These are not just words. These are signals to your subconscious. And your subconscious, once convinced, will reconfigure your behavior to match. You are training your mind to obey your spirit. That is the ultimate authority. That is where transformation begins. Now, once you have made your declaration, close your eyes and step into visualization. This is the key to mental mastery. See the day ahead, not as a series of random events, but as a sequence of victories. Picture yourself walking with confidence, speaking with certainty, moving with precision. Imagine yourself overcoming obstacles before they arise. Feel in your chest the calm authority of a man who has already decided his outcome. This is not fantasy. This is rehearsal, and the mind cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined event and a real one. What you visualize with emotion, you imprint, and what you imprint, you move toward with power. Visualization is not for the dreamer, it is for the doer. And the man who sees clearly in the morning moves boldly in the day. Once you have completed your vision, take pen to paper. Begin morning scripting. This is the act of writing in present tense, the man you are becoming. It is not journaling for memory, it is programming for transformation. Write. I'm focused, I'm decisive, I take bold action. I do not wait to feel ready. I move. Because I have decided, this exercise forces your hand to express the truth. Your spirit already knows. And the act of writing, repeated daily, ingrains this identity into your subconscious, where it becomes automatic. Why do most men fail to change? Because they speak transformation, but do not rehearse it. They wish for confidence, but repeat fear. They hope for discipline, but engage in chaos. This ritual is the antidote. It is the blueprint for becoming the version of yourself that commands outcomes rather than reacting to them, you must begin your day in command. Not because life will be easy, but because you will be prepared. The man who wins is not the one who faces fewer storms, but the one who trains himself to stand tall within them. And the morning is your training ground. Now we go further. Once your identity has been declared, visualized, and scripted, you must prime your emotional state. Most people wait for circumstances to feel good. They wait for validation to feel confident. But you, if you are to rise above the crowd, must generate your emotion. You must create it. You must direct it. Start with gratitude, not vague hollow, thanks but specific, energized appreciation. Say aloud, I am grateful for my vision. I am grateful for the fire inside me. I'm grateful that I can choose how this day begins. This trains your mind to focus on abundance and what you focus on. You amplify gratitude is not weakness, it is strength. It sharpens the mind, opens the spirit, and softens fear from gratitude. Move into certainty. Affirm, I am certain that everything is working in my favor. I am certain that challenges are shaping me. I am certain that my future is already aligning. Speak this with conviction. Do not whisper. Do not doubt. Do not hesitate. The subconscious does not respond to timid language. It responds to repetition, intensity, and clarity. Speak these truths aloud, not because they are always easy to believe, but because belief is a muscle and you are here to train it. Your morning ritual is not just preparation. It is armor. It is fuel. It is the construction of the invisible forces that determine the visible results of your life. Some mornings you will not feel like doing it, do it anyway. That is when it matters most. Discipline is forged, not in convenience, but in resistance. Every time you override laziness, you declare war on weakness, and every time you win that war, you become stronger. The man who trains every morning to become unshakable becomes impossible to stop. Now let me make this practical. Your morning ritual should be short, sharp, and sacred. It is not about perfection, it is about consistency. You do not need an hour. Begin with 20 minutes, 10 minutes of declaration and visualization, 5 minutes of writing your identity, 5 minutes of spoken gratitude and certainty. That's it. But do it every single day without exception, because transformation does not come from occasional inspiration. It comes from repeated decision. Let the world sleep. While you rise, let others wait. While you move, let them wonder how you became so focused, so grounded, so powerful. And let your answer be simple. I build it every morning in silence. Now, I want to speak plainly to the part of you that may still hesitate. The part of you that I think this sounds too simple. Let me tell you, it is not complexity that changes lives. It is clarity, it is decision, it is the invisible ritual repeated with discipline. That is the separator. That is what distinguishes the average man from the exceptional. Most men drift into the day. A few rise and declare their terms, decide which one you are, because every morning you are choosing whether you acknowledge it or not. You are either repeating the identity of the past or you are programming the identity of the future you cannot serve. Both one must die, so let it be the old you, the one who waited, the one who drifted, the one who made promises at night and broke them in the morning. Let him go, and in his place let the new man rise, the man who commands the morning, who trains his mind, who acts with purpose, who transforms deliberately, daily, powerfully. You will not always be motivated, but you must always be committed. That is the price. That is the path. That is the principle. No man becomes great by accident. He becomes great by alignment. And that alignment begins every single morning before the world wakes, before the noise begins, before the doubt creeps in. This is your opportunity. This is your edge. This is your command post. Claim it. You have been taught that success belongs to the man who acts, to the man who believes, to the man who persists. But few ever realize that belief persistence and action are not accidents. They are habits. And habits are forged not in moments of glory, but in the quiet hours. They are crafted in your mornings, rehearsed when no one is watching, developed when emotion has not yet awakened, but purpose has let us go deeper into what this morning ritual truly does for you. It teaches you to act before you feel ready, because feelings are waves. They rise and fall, but principle is bedrock. It does not shift with emotion. The man who learns to take command of his day, even when it is hard, even when he is tired, even when he is not in the mood, he is the one who builds an inner life so powerful that no outer storm can uproot him. When you build a habit of declaring your identity, each morning you begin to train your subconscious to obey your decision, not your fear. You are no longer waking up, reacting to life. You are designing your day in advance from the highest frequency of who you've chosen to become. And each time you do it, your identity deepens. You're no longer pretending you are being. That is what this morning practice is about. It is not motivational fluff. It is identity construction. You are laying bricks in your subconscious. One thought, one belief, one repetition at a time, and brick by brick you build a fortress of thought so strong that not even failure can shake it. Now let us not deceive for ourselves. There will be days when doubt whispers. There will be mornings when your body resists, when your mind pleads for more sleep, when the world tells you this is unnecessary. And that is where the old self would fold. That is where most men compromise. But you are not most men. You rise anyway. You do the work anyway. Because you understand what most never will, that discipline is freedom. You no longer wait to feel like it. You move because you decided. And every time you honor that decision, you grow roots deep, immovable roots. And those roots create unshakable confidence. Let me tell you what separates the successful from the strugglers. It is not intelligence. It is not luck. It is not talent. It is consistency in the fundamentals, and the most fundamental of them all is this: who you become before the sun rises determines what you attract when it does. The man who visualizes his victory with clarity, the man who speaks his future into the present with power, the man who aligns his breath, his posture, his words with his identity, that man walks into the world with a frequency that commands respect. He does not need to chase opportunity. Opportunity feels his energy and comes looking for him. This is what happens. When you spend your morning in control of your thoughts, you begin to master the law of vibration. Everything you want, wealth, relationships, purpose, power, already exist, but only in alignment with a certain frequency. And that frequency is not found by chance. It is cultivated deliberately. And your morning ritual is the tuning fork. When you declare, I am calm, I am focused, I am powerful, I am building something unstoppable, you begin to vibrate with that truth. And soon you no longer just say the words, you become the man. This is the secret of all great transformation. You do not rise because of a miracle. You rise because you rewired the machine. The machine is your subconscious mind, and it is always working. The only question is, are you programming it consciously or allowing it to be programmed by the noise of the world? Most men wake up and consume. You wake up and command, most men hope. You declare, most men drift. You decide. Let us now install an even higher level of execution into your Mornings. Intentional stillness. Once your declaration, visualization, and scripting are complete, give yourself 3 minutes of complete presence. No noise, no stimulation, just breath, just awareness. Sit in stillness and feel the man you are becoming. Breathe deeply into your power. Let your nervous system calibrate to your chosen identity. This is more than meditation. This is internal alignment. It will feel unfamiliar at first. That's good growth always does. You are not chasing comfort. You are chasing command. And command begins in stillness, in that silence. You will discover clarity in that breath. You will find answers that were previously buried under noise. Stillness is where the soul speaks. And the man who listens daily begins to move differently. He acts from principle, not panic. He chooses from vision, not emotion. He becomes a lighthouse in a world full of flickering lights. Now let's talk about movement. Your body is your vehicle, and it listens to instruction. Even 5 minutes of deliberate physical motion, stretching, breathwork, slow movement tells the body, we are awake. We are intentional. We are in command. Do not underestimate this. A rigid body tells the subconscious, we are trapped, but a powerful open body says we are free. The most confident men in history, leaders, builders, visionaries, moved with calm and strength, and that calm is cultivated. It is rehearsed. It is earned. Even if you move slowly, move with presence. Every breath, every step, every stretch done with command is telling your nervous system, I am the master here. And once the body aligns, the mind follows. Now let us confront the enemy. So the snooze button. Every time you hit snooze, you delay your future. You send a message to your subconscious that your comfort is more important than your destiny. That is not harmless. That is sabotage. 5 more minutes may seem small, but over a year, that is days of progress. Wasted, and more than the time lost, is the identity damage, every broken promise. No matter how small as a brick in the wall, between who you are and who you want to be. Kill the snooze rise when you say you will keep your word to yourself. That single act alone will transform how, but you see yourself. You will begin to see yourself as a man of decision, not delay. And that belief will manifest in every area of your life. You don't rise because it's easy. You rise because it's time. Because the man you are becoming doesn't need more sleep. He needs more momentum. He needs to meet himself in the mirror each morning and say, I showed up again, as promised. This is how empires are built, not through noise, not through luck, but through silent, repeated, invisible obedience to vision. And if you ever, I doubt this process. Let me ask you, what is the cost of not doing it? What is the cost of letting your morning slip through your fingers? What is the cost of waking up in reaction instead of intention? I'll tell you, the cost is your clarity, the cost is your confidence, the cost is your life's trajectory. That when you rise in power, when you script your identity, when you move your body, when you steel your mind, when you declare your truth, you are buying back your time. You are purchasing your future with discipline. You are turning chaos into order, weakness into command, confusion into clarity. You are no longer waiting for transformation, you are delivering it. And let me remind you of this, you do not need to do it perfectly. You need only do it faithfully. There will be mornings where it flows, and others where it feels forced. That does not matter. What matters is that you show up anyway, because success is not reserved for those who feel like it. It is reserved for those who act like it. And now let me speak to the man in you who is ready for more. Begin tracking your mornings. Record them. Write down each day. Did I rise on time? Did I declare my identity? Did I script my future? Did I feel gratitude and certainty? Did I breathe, move, and sit in the stillness? This tracking turns habit into obsession, and obsession, when aimed correctly, becomes destiny. And here is a final secret. Attach a mission to your morning. Don't do this for motivation. Do it because you are building something. Attach it to your vision. Say, I rise because my future family deserves a leader. I rise because my mission deserves a builder. I rise because I am no longer available for mediocrity. The stronger the why, the stronger the follow through, because when your why is personal, your discipline becomes permanent. This is how you transform your life, not by waking up randomly, not by reacting to whatever shows up, but by creating a sacred space every morning to train your mind, body, and spirit to work in harmony with your decision. It may not be easy, but it is always worth it, because while others search for answers, you are becoming the answer. While others wait for miracles, you are moving like one. While others delay change, you are being changed. And it all begins in the first hour of the day. What you do in that hour defines you. What you do in that hour rewires you. What you do in that hour is not just preparation. It is transformation, and transformation, my friend, is no longer a concept. It is your new reality. You may be asking yourself, can something so simple, so repetitive really change my life? And I say to you without hesitation, it already has if you have followed the ritual, if you have honored your mornings with intention, if you have declared your identity, visualized your outcomes, aligned your body and breath, you have already begun the transformation. You may not see the fruit just yet, but the seed has been planted, and no seed planted in fertile soil, watered by discipline and nourished by belief, will fail to grow the man who wakes with purpose, who acts before the world demands it. Of him who speaks his truth before others speak theirs, that man is no longer at the mercy of circumstance. He has entered a rare state mastery of self. And from this mastery, all external success flows. Do not make the mistake of underestimating this process, simply because it does not glitter with excitement. The truth is true. Transformation is rarely glamorous. It is daily, it is invisible, it is ordinary to the undisciplined eye, but extraordinary in its effect. Think of the strongest man, not in body, but in presence. The calm man, the man who walks into a room and shifts the atmosphere without saying a word. He did not become that man overnight. He built that presence in his rituals. He rehearsed it in solitude. He repeated it when no one was watching, but you are doing the same. There is no greatness without alignment, and your morning ritual is your daily alignment. The words you speak shape your self-image. The images you visualize carve neural pathways into your brain. The sentences you write reinforce belief. The stillness you honor restores your nervous system. The motion you initiate reawakens the body's intelligence. All of it, brick by brick, constructs the new man. And let me remind you, no man becomes great in public who did not first become powerful in private. This morning ritual is not for applause. It is not for validation. It is for calibration. Each day you are tuning your instrument each day. You are refining your frequency, and in time that frequency becomes so strong that the world cannot help but respond. When you walk in alignment with your internal command, doors open, not because you force them, but because you have become the man who belongs on the other side. Now let's elevate your practice even further. If you are truly committed to your evolution, then add one final piece to your morning transformation service. At the end of your morning ritual, ask yourself, who can I impact today? Whose life can I touch with clarity, strength, encouragement, or presence? This final question lifts your frequency from self-focus to contribution, and it is here, right here, that your personal power takes on spiritual magnitude Because the man who disciplines himself only for his own gain may become successful, but the man who disciplines himself so that he may serve with power becomes unstoppable. He becomes magnetic. And he becomes a leader, not by title, but by example. And the world follows the man who leads by example. So each morning, write down one person you will serve, not out of obligation, but out of intention, a word of encouragement, a powerful conversation, a silent act of integrity, a bold decision that inspires others. Make it real, make it actionable, and then carry that intention into your day. You will find that the moment you attach your discipline to a cause greater than yourself, your consistency doubles, your enthusiasm grows, your fire becomes unshakable, because you are no longer just building a life, you are building a legacy. And that legacy begins not with some grand event, but with what you did this morning. Do you understand now? Your mornings are sacred, not because they are quiet, but because they contain your power. Every thought you think in the first hour sets the rhythm for your behavior. Every sentence you write in the early hours becomes part of your identity script. Every breath, every stretch, every affirmation is a silent, deliberate vote for the future. You are choosing. So choose boldly and do not stop. Let the others sleep in confusion. While you rise in command, let the others stumble into the day while you rehearse for your victory. Let the others wish for change while you become it before the sun even rises. Now here's the final truth. I must give you, and I urge you to, carry it in your soul. Your outer world will never rise higher than the identity you install in your inner world, and your identity is not built. Once it is built daily, your identity is not something you discover. It is something you decide. And once you decide, you repeat once, you repeat. You reinforce. Once reinforced, it becomes automatic. That is the cycle. That is the secret. That is how the ordinary man becomes extraordinary. Do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait for someone to save you. You are the one. You are the voice. You are the builder. You are the fire. You are the commander of your mornings and the architect of your transformation. And as the days become weeks and the weeks become months, the people around, you will notice they will ask you what changed. They will say, you seem different, calmer, sharper, more focused. They will not see the ritual, but they will feel the results. They will not hear your morning declarations, but they will see in your midday execution. They will not watch you write your identity in the dark, but they will witness the man you become in the light. And when they ask, you need not explain. In full, just smile and say, I do one thing every morning that changed everything, because that is the truth. You no longer wake in confusion. You rise in clarity. You no longer drift into the today. You command it. You no longer wait to see how you feel. You decide how to move. And every day you do this, you become a man no longer influenced by emotion or delay, but directed by vision and principle. Now, I say this to you from experience, not theory. I have walked with kings and peasants alike. I have studied the habits of the successful and the defeated, and one difference above all else is marked to those who transform their mornings, transform their lives. So if you seek to live fully, begin here. If you seek to lead others, begin here. If you seek to conquer fear, hesitation, or mediocrity, begin here. The world will give you many distractions. It will offer you many detours. But your power lies in returning again and again to your center. Your morning ritual is that center. It is your place of command. It is your invisible edge. And I leave you now with this final, the command burned into the fabric of my life and the lives of those who have risen guard your mornings. Shape them. Master them. Because the man who wins his morning wins his day, and the man who wins his day repeatedly, relentlessly, faithfully, wins his life.